Good evening, I'm Kurt Gutgsell. Jasper will host Evansville Memorial to start the high school football season tomorrow night. Wildcat head coach Tony Lewis on last week's scrimmage with Heritage Hills and the 2024 campaign.
We didn't play a lot of our starters, a whole lot.
Yeah.
You know, we had a couple guys out that were injured starters. And then the guys that we know what they're going to do and how they can do it, we didn't play them a whole lot. So we played a lot of guys that were backups because we wanted to see how they did under pressure and in the fire going against a good team like Heritage Hills. So, you know, I would say our starters did okay. We had some things we needed to clean up. Backups and our third string guys, you know, they struggled a little bit. I think Heritage Hills kept their guys in a little bit longer than we did. But, you know, it was eye-opening for some of our younger guys. It was eye-opening for some of our older guys that haven't played varsity football. Maybe they were a junior that played JV. You know, those are all things that when you go back and look at film, you can point out some things and hopefully learn from.
With Max back at quarterback, what do you expect out of this offense?
Well, you know, going back to health, if we can stay healthy, you know, we feel really good about it. We feel good about our front five guys. We feel good about our backs coming back, and Max does a great job making decisions at the line of scrimmage. If we put him in a bad play, he knows he can check out of it and get into a better play. If they're showing blitz one way, he can get out of the play. So he's very smart. He makes good decisions, and all he cares about is winning. He doesn't care who gets the glory. He could care less if he scores. He'd probably rather other people score.
What about on the defensive side of the ball, Coach?
Well, again, it all starts up front for us. You know, if Rue's in the game, he can be a real hindrance to a center when he's over his head. So he's a big part of that. The middle of our 3-3 stack defense is very important, with him being the first part that knows, our middle linebacker being the second part, and our free safety, Jack Levin, being a huge part in the alley for us as a free safety. So, you know, again, it all starts up front. We feel like we've got a good defensive line up front if we can keep them healthy. We're moving some guys around at linebacker, trying to build some depth, and we've moved guys around a little bit in our secondary. But we've got to get this week against a really good passing team in Memorial, who also does a really good job running the football. We've got to get our P's and Q's right on reading our keys, and we have to have eye discipline on all parts of our defense.
Well, you touched on it. It's always a good opener. What do you expect out of Memorial?
Memorial, you know, well-coached team. Coach Hurley does a great job. It's an opening game. It's always a good crowd for us. They bring a good crowd. It's a game that you can measure yourself kind of physically where you are at that point. You know, you can be shown we're not physical enough yet, or yeah, we're physical enough, but we're making some mistakes in some other areas. So they'll tell us what we're doing wrong in terms of what they do offensively, if we're not lined up correctly with our alignment, if we're not aggressive, if we're not following our assignments and our keys. They can definitely put us in a bind.
You can see Jasper football Saturday mornings at 10 right here on 18 WJTS Sports. The Indiana men's basketball program will open the 13th edition of the Battle for Atlantis against Louisville at noon on Wednesday, November 27th at the Imperial Arena in Paradise Island. The other marquee matchups in that 8-team tournament, the quarterfinals, West Virginia takes on Gonzaga. Oklahoma squares off with Providence, and Davidson will meet the Arizona Wildcats. Big League Baseball tonight. The Reds start a series in Pittsburgh. Nick Lodolo for Cincinnati. He'll battle Paul Skeens, the rookie phenom for the Bucks. Colts closing out the preseason tonight. Indy wrapping up its exhibition slate, visiting the Cincinnati Bengals at Paycor Stadium. The Colts will be playing its starters for a while in the game. The opponent, the Bengals, will be resting theirs. The Colts open the regular season on September 8th at Lucas Oil Stadium against the Houston Texans. Stay tuned. We'll have more right after this.